ni Jumatatu.
Nivo. Just like
imagine.
that. Just like that.
Yeah?
Just like that. Good morning.
Good morning.
Mko salama?
Kabisa.
Yes. Welcome to Fixing the Nation.
Welcome back, Jano.
Mariam Bisha, Eric Latif. Latif.
I like that, Eric Latif.
Yes, and thank you, Barbara. Always have to send a shout out to Barbara Koinange for starting the week off with praise.
Right.
Ivo too.
Could
How
I
was your
just... Okay.
How
How
was
was
your
your
weekend?
weekend?
It was good, thanks. Yours?
It was fine. It was fine. Restful.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like
Mariam,
that.
how was yours?
It was good.
Bado ni inaendelea. Birthday inaendelea.
No, Elisha.
Maria.
Elisha. We're not doing birthday month,
Jano
please.
told you. I'm not this one.
Hey,
Not this
I'm
one.
a baddie, but not like that. Baddies are the ones. It's a whole month. Sometimes it's even a quarter. You know, this is my quarter.
Yeah.
You know, I was just by this quarter, this time 30 years ago, I was just brewing in my mother's womb. You make it a whole thing.
You make it a whole story.
Yeah.
I love it.
No, you know,
Yeah.
very nice. But you look so good, Jano. I love this outfit.
Thank you very
the
much.
color coordination.
Thank you.
Very nice. I was
It's
about
Monday.
to ask you guys.
Yeah.
I think Wahenga na Wahenguzi, they have some questions to answer on how they named the days of the week in English. If we ascribe to this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday thing, how do they start naming from Saturday?
Who?
Whoever invented naming
The week.
The
the week
Swahili
in
ones.
Kiswahili, yes.
Oh.
Jumamosi
Yeah.
being the first one, then Jumapili being the second day of the week.
Yeah.
I thought we all agreed Sunday is the first day of the week.
Who agreed?
The white people.
Okay. So the Swahili are not white.
So they agreed differently.
So it's a different... Okay, but did they have 7 days of the week?
They do.
You know why that's a fair question?
Yeah.
For the weekend, my sons were like, so this clock, at Isanane is what time? And I didn't have answers. I'm like, where so many too? You know, they're studying, they're like, no. But if it says Sasaba,
Sasaba is somehow not 7 a.m.
Yeah. It was very, so it's a fair question.
Right?
Yeah. Latif, please, context.
How did you get to that? Because actually, I don't know, within the last couple of days, that thought has actually crossed my mind.
Really?
About time. About time.
You were quick to defend it.
No, I was quick. I'm not defending the English. The English didn't name theirs because they are Uko. The Swahili named theirs because of where they are, their context. And I was actually, that's what was running through my mind. That these guys said that their day begins at midnight. But for many, especially in Africa, in Kenya, where our days are fairly uniform, our day begins at dawn.
In the morning. Asubuhi.
Asubuhi.
Our day begins at dawn. And for some, so we were not naming hours with number.
Yeah. We had periods.
Yeah, periods.
Periods.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? So now this whole thing of atiyo, it is saa mbili, saa tatu. Well, okay, sawa. So saa moja za asubuhi, that's when tenashara, then saa moja, saa mbili, saa tatu. Then we finish with the 12 hours and then we start again.
Yes,
Another 12-hour
another 12
cycle
hours.
of night.
Right.
Yeah.
12 hours of day, 12 hours of night.
Night. Okay.
Still worth having somebody come.
So if
and
if
explain.
you people want to insist that we shall do 60 minutes to make an hour, it's fine.
It's
so
fine.
then let's do it your way.
But
But
people
our
insist.
thing shall start with daybreak.
Right. Which is just...
We shall start counting hours from daybreak,
Not from...
not from in the middle of the night
Right.
when no one
Okay.
is awake.
So then saa kumi na mbili
Makes
becomes
sense.
6 a.m.
Yeah. Okay.
Enyewe.
It's coming together.
It's coming
They
together.
had a plan.
Yeah.
It was just disrupted. They were like, we'll please you, we'll appease you, but we'll stick to our...
Right.
hours.
Hey, I like that. Maybe.
Yeah.
But we've also talked about this.
Yeah.
Now, that timing thing, which is that inherently, like you've said, we don't do time in hours, it's periods. Ntakuja asubuhi could be any time between 6 to 10.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
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 So I'm not defending lateness. Now that we've ascribed
but-
to that
but
white
you've
man's
given it
clock,
context.
let's...
But it has that context.
It does.
Yeah.
It does have that
So even
context.
African timing shouldn't be belittled. I think it's just understanding that at some point,
Right.
I will present myself,
Yeah.
Some point between 6 and 10.
which is
You'll
still
see
wild
me.
when you try to make plans. But we belittle it, and I think it's condescending, like, African timing. But maybe there's a part of it to embrace and say, but this is how those who came before us communicated.
Right.
Yeah.
And maybe that's how our circadian rhythms and our minds, as a result, work. So we're trying to adjust.
We're taking back our power, guys. That's what we're doing here. And our
But
agency
I'm not
and
saying
our
be late
message.
to work.
I
We're
know.
not saying be late to work.
Mariam
to
alisema.
class to school.
Mariam alisema
No.
tuingia asubuhi.
Asubuhi inaweza kuwa 10:30. No.
Oh my goodness me. But anyway, you guys had good weekends? All good?
Yes.
Rested? It is Monday. And there's always so much happening over the weekend. It matters politics. And that's a lot of what will be our focus today.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, let's start with the 7 a.m.
Yes.
And the by-elections are next week, the 27th of November. So we know there's several by-elections, parliamentary by-elections and civic by-elections. Mbeere North is hitting up nicely, right? So we have seen UDA and DCP basically just going at it, bare knuckles. Over the weekend, the DCP party leader, Rigathi Gachagua, saying, you know what, they have been dishing money in Mbeere North. Naenda huko next week, kufunga hizo kiosk. Kufunga kiosk.
And Cecily Mbaride said.
And Cecily saying, please, guys, please make sure that you give us this vote.
Yeah.
I am the party leader. I mean, the chairman of UDA is the governor of Embu County. And Mbeere North is in Embu County. Surely.
Yes.
Oh.
She's also she's just saying, hey, boss, can you stop? She's saying he's interfering with politics on the ground.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she is. It's here somewhere.
Oh, really?
Latif is like, where are her receipts? Is that why you're saying, oh, really?
No, I'm like, yeah, like, she's interfering with politics on the ground.
She did say that.
Like, right, like, okay, sawa.
Yeah.
So we'll have the person who is the reason that there's a by-election in Mbeere North is immediate former MP. He is now a cabinet secretary, Geoffrey Roko. Of course, he's also involved in campaigns.
Of course.
Because he'd like to.
Because we're in Kenya, you guys.
Side works.
How else would you explain that a cabinet secretary
Of course.
is involved in campaigns?
There. So he'll be joining us at 7. And we talk about now that crunch time in Mbeere North. What's going on?
It really is crunch time.
Yeah, it is. Things are hot.
Yeah.
Things are also hot. ODM matters, Bwana.
Oh, yes, yes.
Oh, my days.
Hey.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll be hosting Millie Odhiambo. There's a lot that happened. She's obviously the minority whip. But there's a lot that happened, during the celebrations, ODM at 20. I don't know. I'm waiting to speak to her, but it seems like something that was supposed to be a celebratory moment. And in many ways it was, but I think it just started to show a few cracks here and there. There's the old guard, and then, there's Winnie Odinga saying something, and it's, new power. Oburu Oginga is there, which is like protecting interests. So it almost seems like there's factions that are starting to form. Are there? We'll ask her.
Naona nukuu tayari.
Ushaona?
Nukuu chemchem, moto. From Winnie, from Oburu.
Yeah. Winnie is like, I said what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, ODM took the headlines over this weekend.
True. Tuanze oh wait, Koti.
Oh, all right.
Nuku. Not us saying Koti when Nuku was right there.
Nuku. This one is, I think I had it in mind when I thought of Millie Odhiambo, but I'm sure Geoffrey Roko will also speak to it. But Sylvia Tamale is a Ugandan scholar and lawyer. And in 2021, she said, when women challenge power, they're not being disrespectful, they're redefining respect. When women challenge power, they're not being disrespectful, they're redefining respect.
I like that.
Because she also stood on the podium and called out, certain people who she felt were dragging her name and that of many others through the mud. But I feel like she's been very consistent as a woman in power without weaponizing that she's a woman.
Right.
But standing, very boldly in that identity. So I'd be curious to be like, yeah, people see it as challenging, but Sylvia Tamale says, no, you're redefining it. So
I quite like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Alisa Malini,
2021. Yeah, she said that during the launch of decolonization and Afrofeminism. At Makerere.
Love that. At Makerere. All those things are wonderful all together. All together.
Yes.
Haya, tuingie magazetini.
Yeah.
Taifa Leo. You guys ready?
Yep.
Taifa Leo kwa habari na makala moto. Okay. Ukurasa wa kwanza wa Taifa Leo. ODM at 20. Rais asema anaamini vyama vya UDA na ODM vitaunda serikali 2027. Atoa wito wa ushirikiano huku baadhi ya viongozi wa ODM wakionekana kupinga serikali jumuishi. Haya, kuna picha hapo ya Rais William Ruto. Rais achukua hatua hiyo baada ya tofauti kali kuzuka chamani kuhusu namna ya kushughulikia uchaguzi wa 2027. And we'll take a look at that. It's also front page of the Daily Nation and a lot more. Aya, makurutu waajiriwa leo hatimaye. Finally. Mchakato wa kuajiri vijana 10,000 waanza baada ya kukwamishwa mara kadhaa. Haya, Nyaribo tena roho mkononi. That is Governor wa Nyamira. Hana nafasi ya kupumua madarakani. MCA wa Mwandama. It's not the first time actually. So let's figure out nini na happen pale Nyamira. Upinzani watia juhudi Mbere North. Governor Mbarire ataka Gachagua azuie kukanyaga Mbere kwa kampeni. Azuiwe kukanyaga Mbere kwa kampeni. How will...
Does she have a valid point of national politics? County, I don't know.
But if really...
I'm reaching.
If we're...
That is like, listen, no.
He's like, yeah.
I'm reaching.
So siata yazuie kuingia Mbere North basi.
By the way, so county matters, so that county matters don't enter, ward matters.
Is this a county election or is this a constituency election?
But so are we saying her meanings are not valid?
This is a constituency for the National Assembly. That's national government. She's the head of a county government. Keep off if we go with that argument. All right? On the other hand, this is the party leader of a party that has a candidate on the ground. I mean, like anyway.
Siasa.
Kuna siasa.
Yeah, this is hitting back basically. Remember the day prior, there's what DCP and Rigathi had actually said, you know, about intimidation on the ground and so on and so forth. Anyway, ini banta wana siasa.
And she said youth are being ferried to disrupt.
Right.
Nukuni nyingi leo.
Nyingi sana.
Haya, wanafunzi hewa 87,000 waramba mabilioni. Ukaguzi waanika wakuu wa elimu wanavyofilisi umma. We've talked about ghost students before, but we'll have a look at that. Mchina mchokozi afukuzwe Kenya. That's according to Code 2 Secretary General. Mwekezaji wa kigeni anaswa kwa kamera akimpiga Mkenya. I like vile wamwita Mchina mchokozi. This is good for the Code 2 chairperson to come out and speak about this. As a trade union, from a policy perspective, is there more that could be done to protect, especially day laborers or people who work for multinationals, for foreign companies of any sort, right? This is nice, push, afukuzwe nchini, sawa. He's not the only foreign national. He may not be the only boss mistreating his workers, whether from Kenya, from anywhere in the world, right? But we'll take a look at that story as well. Tuanze na Ruto atongoza ODM.
Tusubiri hiyo tuifanye baadaye.
Tuifanye baadaye.
Ndio filo akuwe na baiti sio?
Na baiti. Haya basi. Haya basi. Tuanze na wanafunzi hewa 87 waramba mabilioni. Huo ni ukurasa wa pili wa Taifa Leo. Okay, Wizara ya Elimu imefichua kuwa kuna jumla ya wanafunzi 87 hewa katika shule za umma. Ugunduzi unaotokana na ukaguzi uliofanywa kwenye shule za umma. Kasoro ambayo huenda imefyonza anga bilioni 1 pesa za umma.
How much is a billion?
How much is a billion, Kikombe? Kulingana na ripoti ya mkaguzi mkuu wa hesabu za serikali, inakadiriwa kuwa kasoro hiyo imechangia serikali kupoteza bilioni 4 ndani ya miaka 4 kupitia mgao wa pesa za masomo. Waziri wa elimu, that's Julius Ogamba, amethibitisha kugunduliwa kwa maelfu ya wanafunzi hewa na shule feki katika ukaguzi huo, akionya waliohusika na uovu huo kuwa watachukuliwa hatua kali za kisheria. Nukuu kutoka Bwana Ogamba: kufikia sasa, tumefichua jumla ya wanafunzi 87 hewa katika shule za umma. Serikali itawachukulia hatua wale walioongeza idadi ya wanafunzi kimakusudi. Waziri alisema wizara yake ingali inashikilia bilioni 1 ambazo hazijatolewa kwa sababu ya ukosefu wa ukosefu wa uwiano kuhusu idadi ya wanafunzi. Nukuu ingine, hii huenda ikaashiria kuwa awali kulikuwa na idadi ya juu ya wanafunzi kuliko ilivyopaswa. Sasa baada ya kubaini hivyo, tutawasilisha ripoti kamili. Baada ya ukaguzi kukamilika kabisa, wahusika watakaoshindwa kueleza chanzo cha hitilafu katika idadi ya wanafunzi wataadhibiwa ipasavyo. So they have 1 billion left over from capitation funds. So crazy to say you have 1 billion left over when you slashed capitation by 10,000 shillings.
So what are they doing with that?
They have $1 billion because there's
a discrepancy.
In terms of, so we had budgeted for this, and then we said before we release, we want to see exactly which pupil this money is going to. And then the head teachers have not come with 87,000 names, which would translate to 1 billion shillings, which is still yet to be disbursed because
these are ghost learners.
Are they ghosts?
What do you mean, are they ghosts? Do they exist?
Yeah.
Or do they exist but they're not in the system as you've mentioned before?
Yeah.
That's very possible. But as a head teacher, if you know that for one reason or the other, you have 5-10 students who are not on NEMIS, then you write to the ministry. I don't know.
You sound the alarm.
Yeah.
You raise the issue.
You say this is one reason, this is what's happening here, but there are Kenyan children who have a right to education, and therefore they are in my classrooms, and they also deserve capitation like every other learner, but for reason XYZ, they're not on NEMIS.
Or they don't exist at all. Now remember what the school heads were saying when they were in Mombasa last week, in the coast last week, that actually this ghost thing is a Ministry of Education creation. That it's a number that they come up with, and then they come and tell us now, justify these numbers. But when we've now showed them, this is what we have on the ground, you find out where those 87,000 are. They are a creation of the Ministry of Education officials.
Yeah, I remember the teacher saying that's got nothing to do with us.
It's a back and forth here. It's a back and forth here, which basically, as you're seeing Ogamba saying, these head teachers saying the other, this 87,000 will come back into the system. They will come back somehow because we are not dealing with this. So who is it who's culpable for the losses in billions previously?
At the expense of students learning. And parents having to dig into their pockets because they've never had. No, it's really terrible, I think. Tuingie Business Daily. There's another story.
I would actually, nani anaua wazee Salga. That caught my eye on page 2, just before we go into Bitaifa. Haya, story hapa ni ya Masi Koskei. Anasema, Makachero, eneo la Salga, kaunti ya Nakuru, wameanza uchunguzi wa kuandama waliotekeleza mauaji ya wazee 3 ndani ya muda wa wiki 2. Mauaji hayo ya kushangaza yamewashangaza wenyeji ambao wanawataka polisi kuwanyaka waliohusika ili kuzuia visa kama hivyo siku zijazo. Nukuu hapa, wiki moja tu baada ya wanandoa wawili wa Kongwe kuuawa nyumbani kwao kijijini Muthera, polisi wameanzisha uchunguzi kuhusu mauaji ya ajuza mmoja ambaye mwili wake ulipatikana ndani ya nyumba yake wikendi. Marehemu Margaret Wamboi, miaka 65, ambaye ni mwanachama wa kundi la wanawake wa kanisa la PCEA, alipatikana nyumbani kwake akiwa na majeraha mabaya ya kichwa mnamo Ijumaa wiki jana. Kwa mujibu wa mwanawe Rahab Wanjiru, siku hiyo alijaribu kumpigia mamake simu lakini ikawa imezimwa. Ni mkazi wa eneo la Blue Gem in Salga. And then this is now the third story, and we've seen the other previous 2, I remember.
Yeah, it was a couple. And I know the family members. It was Joseph Jegwa Keheti, who was 90 years old, and his wife Rose Wanjiko, who was 63 years old. They were found murdered in their home. You know? And it's within this same area of Salga. And up to now, no relative or neighbor even knows what exactly happened, or even when did they die.
Wow.
They were found dead.
And they didn't know how long they'd been dead based on
commotion.
So they have been just trying to figure out. They were found dead on Sunday. So just looking back, had anybody seen them on Saturday? The person who could have seen them on Saturday, had not come to the home on that day, so he's like, I didn't enter the home on that day. The other person is Friday is the last time that people remember interacting with this elderly couple.
My word.
Imagine.
And what was the cause of death? Was it like blunt force trauma?
Yeah,
really?
and strangulation.
And strangulation.
Yeah.
According to postmortem results, uchunguzi wa postmortem kwenye mili yao uliofanywa Jumanne iliyopita umeonyesha kuwa wawili hao waliaga dunia kutokana na majeraha ya kupigwa kwa kifaa butu, like you said, blunt force trauma. Mikono ya Bwana Kihiti na bega lilikuwa limevunjika, ishara kuwa naye pia alikuwa akipambana na uwaji wake. Mkurugenzi wa idara ya DCI Donafa Otieno alithibitisha matukio hayo mawili. So yeah, what's happening in Salga? And why the fact that no one had commotion, no one is even sure of the time of death, but there was a struggle, unless boma labda ni kubwa and you know, you're not able to hear anything from the outside, but still something very worrying.
I hope Mercy Koske can do a follow-up.
Yeah.
It's great that it's been highlighted, but I mean, honestly, they deserve justice. And then if there's a strange, weird pattern, it just needs to be addressed.
I agree.
That's very heartbreaking.
Tuangalie bitaifa.
Yeah, anayotupambia safu hii leo ni Wamboi Mureithi. Bi Wamboi ni mfanyabiashara katika kaunti ya Nakuru. Uraibu wake ni kuogelea, kutunga mashairi na kukutana na marafiki wapya. Kutunga mashairi is dope.
Yeah.
You know, the other day I saw somebody saying that we no longer appreciate arts and poetry. Yeah, it was an interesting video where he was just saying the way academia and poetry and art was internalized and part of the ecosystem, now it's been overpowered by content that dumbs down. And he was just ranting. And people in the comments were like, yeah, they kind of almost said the same thing.
Fair.
So thank you, Kutunga Mashairi Endelea. We need many more poets.
There's niche communities for poets.
And I was going to say, so it's niche.
But it's not, yeah, you're right.
It's not as mainstream as it used to be.
I've been to 2 poetry shows this year.
When was
which
it
is
mainstream?
The most...
And to what extent was it mainstream?
I feel like when you think about the struggle for even post-independence, around the time there was, I just felt like the Ngugi wa Thiong'os coexisted powerfully with the Young Turks. There was almost like a mishmash of people all fighting for the same thing, but using various platforms. But again, I'm processing that.
And
I
also
know,
in school,
and I agree.
Definitely.
But that was, even then, if you look at it, it was within a niche academia.
It was the elites who used poetry.
Not necessarily elites, but it was just a small group of people who were basically pursuing literature or studying literature or living literature who were very strong on it. And then, but if you look through the school system, that mashairi was used a lot in school system. You learn in poetry, there are set books in poetry, the competitions in school, you know, for poetry, which still exists today.
Yeah, fair enough. But is it as platformed other than...
Is it just because we're not in school?
Somebody said the system killed intellectualism when it stopped paying thinkers and started paying entertainers. Anyway, it's a debate. Fair enough, I've heard what you've said, but anyway.
Wageni waheshimiwa. Alio mbele... walio mbele yako ni kidacho cha tatu. Something's how the flow used to go.
I miss it.
But that, yeah. It's maybe because we're not in school. Probably they're still saying...
I'm sure they are. But then outside of that...
It's a term. When we have the drama festivals with drama, music, and poetry.
Oh yeah, it's huge, and we profiled it. Outside of that, I know there's niche communities. Is it as... Anyway, I'll process. Come with receipts. Business Daily, Nigeria's Zenith to acquire Kenya's Paramount Bank. Nigeria's second largest bank by asset base and market capitalization, Zenith Bank, is seeking to acquire Kenya's Paramount Bank and has sought regulatory approval to proceed with the transaction. Goes on to say Zenith's plan to enter the East African market through an acquisition in Kenya was reported earlier, but the target bank wasn't identified. Business Daily has now confirmed that Zenith is at an advanced stage of securing the regulator's approval to complete the acquisition of Paramount Bank, and it is keen to conclude the deal in January should it be approved. The value of the transaction was not disclosed. Okay.
Paramount Bank has been operating in this country for a while, Yeah,
it's been quiet. It closed in 2024 with a net profit. You're like, how is it?
It's one of those tier 2 banks that have a niche market and it's profitable.
Fair.
As you can say, it closed the year with...
It closed 2024 with a net profit of 339 1.9 million shillings, which is net profit, up from 294 reported the year before. So that's an even higher.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So that's one story. There's another one here. Tanzania Mombasa tycoons face off over LPG after court order. The High Court has declared Tanzanian business magnate to set up a 16 billion shilling cooking gas plant and storage facilities at the Mombasa port, escalating a vicious billionaires brawl against tycoon Mohammed Jaffa. Taifa Gas Investments Limited got a reprieve after a court struck out a petition challenging its construction of a 30,000 metric ton of liquefied petroleum gas, LPG, terminus at Dongo Kundu Special Economic Zone in Likoni, Mombasa. The suit had derailed Taifa Gas, which Tanzanian tycoon Rostam Aziz owns, after the energy regulator gave the firm a nod to build the mega plant in 2022.
You need to be a business person.
Yeah.
You must have resilience of the highest order.
Right.
I remember Rostam,
Yeah.
in one of those roundtables with the business sector roundtables in President Uhuru Kenyatta's administration, he stood up and talked about how he's been frustrated just by Kenyan officials. He's been wanting to set up this business in this country, frustration up galore. 2022, he gets the nod.
Right.
I think 2023, he does the groundbreaking, attended by the president. I remember it was in the news. And now look.
Still fighting.
Yeah. Court order, Nini.
Yes.
You're right. It needs resilience. Yeah, but I think we also make it difficult. And it's not the first time, right?
But no, Atasasa, you've already dealt with Gava.
Yeah.
Now it's
surely.
It's business people, other business interests.
It's a terrible reputation. It's already 27 past. Should I quickly look at the ticker headlines?
Okay.
Yes.
Men dominate high-value M-Pesa transactions. Okay, so men accounted for about 61% of mobile money cash. Interesting. I know some people have been trying to close that gap, but that's some interesting data to see. Global agencies to set aside 2/3 of jobs for Kenyans. International development agencies will be required to reserve at least 2/3 of jobs for Kenyans to qualify for diplomatic privileges and propose legal changes that also withdraw their legal immunity from contractual disputes, labor grievances, and traffic offenses. I think this is very good.
That's amazing.
If it's implemented, strengthen local talent. You can allow the global expertise, but strengthen local talent. Lending slumps as cash piles in banks rise to record levels. Less lending, right? So commercial banks have raised cash holdings on their books to record levels amid slow growth in lending. And then finally, two other headlines. Automation marks a decisive move toward tech-driven tax verification, promising speed and efficiency, but also raising the stakes for taxpayers. We will continue threading on this conversation. And then finally, there's a person in the news profile of Eda Nahdi. So that's a look at the Business Daily. It's coming up to 6:30. We'll come back, look at the Daily Nation and some of the stories that made news last night on NTV. Stay with us.
What's up, nation? Let us switch the mission by ensuring you are doing the right thing at the right time and do what is expected of you.
We'll need a take 2 for that. What's up, nation, for sure. Wait, what's going to do the next hour?
Nimesikia tu do what is expected of you.
Yes.
So now we'll draw the link together.
Yes. Vutuskize tena.
Okay,
Thanks.
sawa.
Cheza tena Philo.
What's up, nation? Let us switch the mission by ensuring you are doing the right thing at the right time and do what is expected of you.
Precise, clear, to the point. He's right. Where you are, you do what is expected of you. Sindio?
Yes.
Hivo.
Right thing at the right time.
Right thing at the right time. I love that. Sawa. Thank you so much, Fixer. Next time, tafadhali tuambie jina lako so that we don't call you just Fixer. We
Na
give
mahali
you your
uko.
name. Na mahali uko. Yeah. Na weke simu yako landscape. As always, you can send that video to 0112 500 400. 0112 500 400. And we'll be more than happy to share your What's Up Nation in the next hour. It could be yours we're playing Ausio.
Yes.
Kabisa, still
Yes.
Mike the one, and Asema, good morning, fellow fixers. Psalm 143:8. Let the morning bring me word of your unfailing love, for I have put my trust in you. Have a blessed new day and new week. Benedict Ndiko says, good morning, fixers. We're fully prepared to fix the nation and economy. Amen. My prince, good morning. Gachagua alienda mbele, akalala mbele, na akawasha campfire. Pia, kombere. Jackson Kadere, the
Ifikie
days.
Sicily.
Wow. Okay, Eric.
That's what he basically implied.
Yeah. Jackson Kadere, the days of the week depends on your religion or Sabbath from your religion. The first day is always after Sabbath. For Jews, it's Sunday, Muslims, Saturday, Christians, e.g. Kenya, it's Monday. Okay, so when we were deliberating at the beginning of the show, that's
so
Jackson
the first day of
Kadere.
the week is the day after Sabbath, depending on your religion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sir Charles says, good morning, fixers. Failures happen, setbacks happen, keep going because eventually victories happen. Be proud of your progress and keep taking steps forward. Two more people. Cecilia Wakesho says, corruption everywhere. Who will slay this giant now that it's gotten to schools? We are asking the same question. George Kimando finally says, good morning, fixers. Hatuhitaji shule, tunataka tu elimu na certificates. When do Kenyans rest? Interesting.
You saw that trend online. It starts with the president giving an interview to the media in Kitui. And he's talking about agriculture. And he's saying, we've had this, thinking and I'm not calling it fascination, but we've been focusing so much on rain-fed agriculture. So he says, hatuhitaji mvua, tunahitaji maji. Now people have taken that from hatuhitaji mvua, tunahitaji maji. Hatuhitaji nini?
Sasa wewe umesema tuhitaji shule. Tunahitaji certificates na elimu.
Yo.
It's a picture from there. So he's asking, when do Kenyans rest?
When do Kenyans rest?
We're quick.
Quick like that.
Quick.
So the ones for Uganda.
Yeah,
of course. No, those have been amazing. It's actually hard to keep up with the trends.
Yeah.
I'm like,
rest.
I'm lalangi.
Hey.
Someone just says something new.
It becomes a trend.
Becomes
for a few
something.
days. It becomes something. We're creative.
Let me just say hello quickly to the Facebookers. Kiprop Levi's from Sabot Koi. Anasema good morning. Good morning, Mariam. Dennis Munanga. Niwe umesalimiwa. Salimika.
Nimesalimika,
Very
Dennis.
good. Jose is in Nyandarua. Live from Busia Obekai is Levi Moja. Anasema good morning. Watching from Barober City, Ugenya, Dallas, Siaya County is Fiat Kichwambaya. Anaitonga Fiat Kichwambaya. Hivyo ndio anajiita yeye mwenyewe. And modern biodigester following up and says good morning. Kiproto pia ako ndani. Good morning. Let's get quickly to the Daily Nation. And the front page of the Daily Nation has a photo here of a father and niece. Right, man and niece. This is the war within. That's a headline. Winnie's hard tackle on Oburu during ODM gala reveals family tensions. Raila's daughter demands a national delegates convention to pick party leaders. And this is a quote from her. The broad-based relationship is complicated. Those managing it now, are they capable? Because it's only one Baba Raila Odinga who could manage it. Who's managing it now? The current party leader, who is Oburu Oginga. And this is what Oburu Oginga said. It's Raila who left us in the broad-based government. If it comes to 2027, we shall look at the best person to talk with or go it alone. Yala MP Winnie Odinga, the daughter of former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, on Saturday questioned the competence of her uncle, Dr. Oburu Oginga, to lead ODM, even as she alleged a plot to sell the party, exposing simmering differences that could threaten the Orange Party's existence. That story is on pages 4 to 5. We shall look at it shortly. Other headlines on the front page of the Daily Nation today. The one of the ghost learners, 87,000 ghost learners draining $1 billion shillings of public funds annually. And then there's a story on page 2, flying coffins. Old bitter police choppers are a disaster in waiting.
Yeah.
On page 3, sitting side saddle on boda bodas can be deadly. That is the NTSA warning. Officials from the Road Safety Agency say sitting style increases the risk of sustaining serious injuries in the event of an accident. And yeah, I always feel quite, when I see people sit at side saddle.
Right. And the article speaks directly to women.
Yeah.
Mostly it's women.
It was mostly women.
Yeah, because, you're wearing a skirt.
And historically it was because they were supposed to look very conservative.
Demure.
Yep. Yeah. And also you're dressing, what you're dressed,
That's true.
what you're wearing on the day. WFP report, a story on page 8, why more Kenyans are now facing hunger. A new Food and Agriculture Organization and World Food Program assessment warns that Kenya faces a worsening hunger crisis, highlighting growing risks from climate, conflict and economic pressures. And then on page 16, Moi-era contractors' assets up for sale in KCB loan row. KCB Group has started auctioning assets of former Spencon Kenya Limited directors to recover a 1.35 billion shilling loan. Let's go to page 4 and 5, ODM, the war within, the silent Raila Oburu family rivalries, and we know we've got some bites here. ODM at 20 celebrations in Mombasa the weekend may have exposed underlying differences, suspicion, intrigue and scheming that could threaten the party's existence if not handled with grit. There was already tension in the area as the delegates made their way to the port city for an event attended by the president, who was once a member of the party. However, the conflict escalated on Saturday when Winnie Odinga, daughter of the late party leader Raila Odinga, publicly appeared to question the competence of her uncle, Dr. Oburu Oginga, to lead the party. On Friday, she had sensationally alleged that unnamed party leaders were plotting to sell ODM, founded by her late father, which is now led by her uncle. She questioned whether those managing the ODM-UDA relationship had the same capacity as her late father. She's demanding a national delegates convention to give members the power to decide who should steer this relationship, a move that would possibly put Dr. Oginga on the chopping block after confirming as the ODM leader by the National Governing Council on Thursday, October 13th. Hey.
You know,
things are boiling.
Before we listen to the bites, politics aside, it's the Orange Democratic Movement. If we're being honest with one another, you should have a national delegates convention to decide who your party leader is.
Well, it depends. What does the party constitution say?
I doubt it says...
the party's constitution could give this role to the National Governing Council to pick the leader. Yeah.
Okay, fair. Haya, wacha tusikize baiti kutoka Winnie na Dr. Oburu.
Tunaweza kutofautiana kwa mawazo. Huyu aseme nataka hivi, mwingine aseme nataka hivi. Lakini mimi ile ambayo imenifurahisha, kila kiongozi ndani ya chama wamesema watakuwa wa mwisho kuachia chama ya baba ianguke chini. Kwa hivyo wote wanataka chama ikae pamoja. Tutapambana tu hapa ndani ya ODM. Hakuna mtu anatoka, hakuna mtu anaenda mahali popote. Sisi wote tukae wapi?
Mti ukianguka, ndege huwa ni wenye kurukaruka. Katika hali ya kurukaruka, ni jukumu letu sisi kama wale ambao kwamba ni viongozi wa sasa kuhakikisha ya kwa kila ndege ametulia. Na hatuwezi kutuliza ndege ikiwa sasa tunaona ndege wanatawanyika, ndio mwanzo tunaanza kutafuta mawe kuwatupia wale ndege. We will bring everyone on board.
Umoja ni nguvu, utengano ni udhaifu. Kwa hivyo tuache kila mara kutoa midomo ambayo itatanganisha kama chama. Hata tukienda kuongea na watu wengine hii Kenya, lazima tuende tukiongea tukiwa na numbers, tukiwa na hesabu.
Sisi hatutatingishwa na hata pwani hatutatingishika. Sisi ni wanachungwa by birth. Hatukuwa katika chungwa ati maybe through naturalization. Sisi tunamwambia Sifuna, wewe kama hutaki kukaa kwa chama, wewe shika njia uende. Lakini huwezi kututoa sisi ndani ya chama. Wapwani tutakaa na chama cha ODM.
Wengine wanasema 1 term, wengine wanasema 2 term, wengine wanasema tuko broad base, wengine wanasema 10 bila break. Hiyo hatujafika hapo. Let us deal with the 10 points agenda ile baba alituachia.
Well, ODM at 20 is really turning out to be quite something. We didn't hear from Oburu and Winnie, but we will a bit later on in the show when Winnie Odinga is in studio with us. However, these factions, I understand the tussle and what Governor Wanga was saying, that we may disagree ideologically, but no one is saying they're leaving the party. No one is, thinking of that. This is just kidogo push and pull. But these are very fundamental differences. These are easy. Oh, I like red, you like blue. This is ideologically, we seem to disagree on where the party should be. Should it be in broad-based? Should it not?
That's operationally. I think they're still the same ideologically. The ideology of the party, social democracy, is still there.
It can't be operationally.
It's just operational. How are we moving forward? Are we moving forward by, supporting this broad-based government? Do we walk out of the broad-based government now? Do we? Basically, what I'm saying is, I see where the fractures in the party are coming from, and probably it is because the one person who was the glue and who has built all of them. And so they gave him respect, and they wouldn't speak. They would go and talk, and then he'd come and say, this is the direction.
And
they
they
don't
say
listen. Now there's no one to come and tell them this is the direction, and they all listen. Which is where at some point, I think, like the chairperson, Gladys Wanga, is saying, we have a party leader. Or actually, no, it was the governor of Kisii, who's the deputy party leader, who was saying that we have a party leader. Let's talk. But at the end, when the party leader comes and listens and says, okay, so let's take this direction, let's listen to him.
If left unchecked, it will really fragment.
Amen.
If left unchecked. The last point you've made is, I think, I don't know, am I invested? I'm trying to, from the outside in, I think 20 years of a very powerful movement, of course not perfect, and then just within months it can actually disintegrate. It can set a poor precedence for how parties stand strong, even when there's grief, even when there's troubles, even when there's politics. And I think this will be a huge test for them. It's like, number one, they're grieving. They're disenfranchised, they're grieving, but they know what they have to do. They know what Raila Odinga wanted them to do. How they do it is what they say. First of all, who was it who said, we know what he told us each personally. But you have to go with what he said in public. So publicly, didn't he make...
This comes back to tell us what we've been saying. We don't have political parties in Kenya. We have special purpose vehicles, individual.
Because it's person-centered,
It is.
Individual
personality-centered,
vehicles. Now that the individual who was the party has left, everybody else is now struggling to figure out. They're all infighting. Let's
see what Millie Odinga says. She might be like, hey, where are you guys reading that? Where? We're fine.
And we'll be like...
we're siblings who are having a bit of beef.
Phil, play the...
Obviously, they'll say that.
I feel like they'll say that.
Ruto amechukua chama. He's slicing a bit of this party.
To be honest, who?
The president.
The president at ODM at 20 celebrations is just... Like, we've glossed over that, but wow. Truly wild.
They had all been invited. And remember, like he was saying, he was among those who founded the party.
He was one of the founders.
So it's at the birthday of the party.
How many years has it been since he was in ODM, though? Okay, let me put it like this. Had the late Raila Odinga not passed, do you think President Ruto would have attended ODM at 20?
Oh, yes.
Really?
Yes.
Because of their
handshake, remember, broad-based? Yes. Oburu sent a statement and said he would have attended, right, as a Jubilee party leader. Okay. Kalonzo had been invited. According to people who are saying Kalonzo had been invited, and whatever reason is, he didn't go there. But,
Okay, sawa basi.
Our politics can do a number on your mind.
It is very mind-boggling.
Because they are all there screaming, but as Eric has pointed out, they were all invited. They may have actually been there, sent their apologies, etc. So you have to sit down and be like, so who? We're the ones who fight, huh? You know that?
Yeah.
They're fine. We're the ones who fight.
Sawa.
On page 5, another political side, Democracy for Citizens Party leader Rigathi Gachagua stormed Mbeere North constituency and vowed to humiliate President William Ruto and his allies in the November 27th by-election, even as he alleged plans by the state to rig the polls in favor of the UDA candidates. Addressing a roadside rally at Kanyuambora and Ishara shopping centers in Embu, the former DP was drumming up support for the The former deputy president swore to camp in the area until the DP candidate Newton Kariuki wins the by-election. He stressed that no amount of intimidation would deter him from campaigning for a joint opposition candidate. On Saturday, the UDA chairperson, Cecily Mbarire, claimed that Gachagua had planned violence during his rallies with the intention to blame it on the ruling party. The UDA also demanded that Gachagua be barred from campaigning in the area, arguing that the DCP has no candidate and that he had not signed a code of conduct with the IEBC. She was speaking at Ishiara police station on Saturday, where she told the IEBC to step in and ensure that Gachagua does not conduct his campaign activities in the area, saying UDA would be seeking the disqualification of DP candidate Newton Kariuki should Gachagua campaign for him. Higher.
There's some bites.
The people who are speaking at all these rallies. So we have the United Opposition leaders, Gachagua, Kalonzo Musyoka, DAP Kenya Party leader, Eugene Wamalwa, former National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi, who is the leader of the Democratic Party, which has a candidate, and others spoke, as well as the UDA chairperson, who is the governor of Embu, Cecily Mbarire. Let's take a listen.
Sisi kama chama ya UDA, we do not at all support any form of violence in Mbeere North. We know that violence begets violence.
Askari wamemwagwa hapa karibu 1,000. Ati huyu Karinda akitaka kuuzia watu ya Mbeere uoga. Kwa hivyo hatutaki madharau kwa watu ya Mbeere. Hakuna haja gavana, tafadhali. My younger sister says Barire kukosea watu ya Mbeere heshima. Nimeona huyu Ruku anapiga kelele kila pahali. Anatumiwa na Karida na Kasongo. Wewe Ruku, kijana mdogo, tukifukuza Kasongo na Karinda 2027, utarudi tu hapa Mbeere. Si ndio? Usikubali kutumika.
Ukienda pale ndani ya polling station, upigie mtu ambaye ni wa serikali hii ya Ruto, aipige picha hapo, alafu ukipererusha hiyo unapatiwa pesa. That's already an election offense.
Huyu Karisa anatosha atoshi? Aingie asiingie? Aende bunge asiende? Wangapi wanasema Karisa ingie, Karisa ingie, Karisa? Harambe! Harambe! Na wewe William Ruto unasema ati sisi hatuna akili. Wewe unasema watu ya Mbeere hawana akili. Tariki 27 ikifika saa 6 ya usiku itajulikana kati ya William Ruto na watu ya Mbeere nani hana akili na ni nani yako na akili.
Nasikia kwa ma-PS wamekuja ma-PS 20 wanaenda hapa Ishara kununua mbuzi kwa nguvu. Sasa the same thing. Lakini yule mtu ako kwa roho za watu wa Mbeere North. Hata mimi nikiwa mbali I knew. And then Karis, uwe na msimamo. That's my message.
Dalili ya mvua ni mawingu. Dalili ya ile serikali kwisha na serikali mpya kuundwa, iliundwa kwa by election mlima huu kule Kiambaa. Kuna kajamaa kanaitwa Kawanjiku, kalitunyorosha huko kakaingia bungeni. That is how this government ilianza kuundwa. Ilikuwa mlima Kenya. Na naamini the next government itaanza kuundwa hapa Mbeere North kwa by election hii tarehe 27 kupitia Bwana Karisa.
All of them talking, all of them making, campaign promises and campaign rhetoric. Yeah, it's a mix of all those things. Those in the opposition, their campaign is that this government has failed, so do not give it any chance. And that this government is, sponsoring candidates, it's sponsoring violence, it's sponsoring electoral malpractices. And the counter from the other side, same.
So now?
Wanauza sera. Nani ambaye anauza sera? The party leader.
Wanauza sura?
Hauzi sera?
Wanauza sura.
Ni sura? Yes. Service delivery, you know this?
Where?
Secondary.
Where?
For why?
Or maybe what we're highlighting is the, the tussle.
Right.
Maybe at some point when the candidate stands up to speak, because we have not had the candidate speaking in any of these, but the candidates themselves are saying what they would do for the people.
By the way, hey, the fact that this is a proxy war is just, it's so blatant because show me 5 men here uniambie point out Karis.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
How would I?
But Mbere and Embu are like siblings.
Yeah.
There's always been a bit of tension. And it persists.
Iko.
Yeah, Iko. It's been there for a long time. For different reasons.
Right.
Where they're geographically located, resources, etc. We're just seeing a version of that play out.
Where? Okay.
There's another story here that we can read, which is rebuilding Chesongoch. Tucked in the folds of destruction are tales of the resilience of the community in Elgeyo Marakwet County as they attempt to rebuild their lives from the ruins of a devastating landslide. The hospital, which was treating victims, suffered a massive hit from the landslides, which has necessitated aid from organizations. So we have Ngina Kirori, who talked a little bit about the efforts being made as families continue to search for their missing kin. You will hear from Administrator of Chesongoch Mission Hospital, Lillian Raymond, and we'll also hear from Governor Wesley Rotich, Elgeyo Marakwet, just listening to how the residents are trying to rebuild after the deadly landslides.
We had 2 generators. Both of them were carried away. We had our kitchen. It was carried away. We had our sewerage system, which we will have to rebuild. Our beds, many of them were distracted.
See the terrains, we have passed through areas of landslides, some of the impassable, some of the challenging very road infrastructure, but we can say that we are here to ensure that we deliver to the last mile, whereby patients, we have them at the bottom of the pyramid, can access care and treatment.
That is almost 30-something% of the community. So that is 160 kilometers distance. Communities, like for example in Embu, it's the whole ward. Shortly after the funeral, I'm going to do a formal request to my county assembly. The county assembly will pass, and then we will do a formal assembly to petition to the National Assembly and Senate. And of course, we have also written to the ministry. We'll write to the ministry directly.
Yeah, Wesley Rotich, my apologies for that name. I think it's important that we keep highlighting. I'm glad that we're not forgetting so soon, because the news cycle can make you forget very easily. That very many people lost their lives. Many are still searching for their loved ones. People are now asking aid organizations to get involved. It's terrible what happened, but I'm glad to see that they're just trying to rebuild as a community. And I think our role is just to keep this story alive as much as we can, and then hope that we become a lot more proactive. We've had that conversation before.
Disaster preparedness.
Disaster preparedness as opposed to reaction, even though a lot of people have said, oh, in some instances we don't know the magnitude of, but let's have some sort of systems in place.
That's very true.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Right.
From last night's stories, that was the last one. But there was the story on the Daily Nation about old beta police choppers that are a disaster in waiting. And I think we've seen several crashes. We have about, what, a minute to the break?
Yeah, 30 seconds.
Oh my gosh, it's 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you get the chance to just have a look at the Daily Nation or go to epaper.nation.africa, there's a story there on most of the aircraft that the NPS Air Wing uses are grounded due to maintenance problems, and there is alarm as the chopper makes a hard landing. And that was an incident that happened on November 3rd, where a police chopper conducting a landslide rescue mission in Chesongoch had to make had to make a hard landing when its lift reportedly failed as it was taking off. And that's just one of many stories about National Police Service choppers. And we have seen the number of crashes, which is incredibly worrying. Then it begs the question, one, do we buy secondhand choppers? Two, do we maintain them properly? Three, what's the fix? Because lives are at risk whenever we're using technology that is either out of date or not well maintained.
Yeah. Well said. No, I think anecdotally we know the answers to some of those questions, which is very concerning. But it's coming up to 7 a.m. crunch time in Mbere North. That's the conversation we're having in the next hour with Jeffrey Roko, Cabinet Secretary and former MP Mbere North. What exactly makes this particular decision so important? He'll come and tell us all about that and the politics around it. Coming up to 7 a.m., Fixing the Nation, one conversation at a time.